Hey everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the best dog coin farms in Palworld's 1.0 update to find yourself a Meemog here, which are some of the hardest pals to find in this game, and I'll be showing you the best methods to get the most out of catching these or taking them out, because we want to ensure that we're able to one-shot them. As you see there, we got 266 dog coins from this. This is because if we use Catrus here, this is going to increase the amount of neutral pal drops by 80% when max condensed, alongside Blaze Howl Noct, which will also stack, giving a further 80%. And the reason I mentioned catching them is because you can use Catrus, and this will give a 50% chance to reduce using a pal sphere. And what's nice about that is they do have a lot of health and they will run away from you. So sometimes catching them is preferred, but I did also show there you can build a hanging trap in the earlier sections of the game. Now this is going to have a early mid-game farm as well as a late game one. The late game one obviously works a lot better, but you'll notice when we look at the habitat here that it is everywhere, and this is a little misleading because there's some spots that just pop up a lot more frequently than others. And one of those places being the Sakurajima Islands here. Now, this is a very good hotspot. I found right this beach here, anywhere before we get to these trees. These will glow and make it harder to see. We want to do this at nighttime, so this makes it easier to spot them. Now, this is another good spot here, and you can also do it during the day, but you're going to see these from, like, we're going to be flying around here, and these will pop up a lot more frequently if you're, at nighttime. And the general flow to it is you're just going to be trying to go as quickly as possible. I'm using the wing pack here, but I also like to use Frost Alien due to their high possible damage, taking out targets, and you want to just be skimming close enough and fast that we're able to spawn in new targets. You will notice a lot of chests like that there because that's obviously what they look like, so you'll find yourself going after those often. I just ignore them and move on to the next, although you can grab them if you want. Now I've been flying around for about 5 minutes here, but I just found one. The reason I like to go here is you see these trees do glow quite a bit, so that makes it harder to spot, but we're looking for these blue lines. That's what's going to distinguish and make it easier to find. Now if you have a pal like Frost Alien here who's got Holy Burst, this will just be one of the best options because it's going to do a large amount of damage, making it easier for us to just take them out in one shot. And 268 dog coins that time. Now the desert is another really nice location. The only problem that I have with it is the large number of chests here. So obviously the other spot does have them too, but this is at a much higher rate. So you're going to be seeing a lot of chests. However, between the two of these, it's really hard to say. I do think the Sakurajima Islands is a little bit more efficient. But yeah, we're looking out for that nice light blue glow. This one did take a little bit longer. I think it was like 7 or 8 minutes of just running around here. And we found ourselves one. So yeah, this is one that you definitely don't want to miss. I like Frost Alien too, because if you're going to shoot at it, you can get yourself, we only had 130 that time. But if you're using a gun, you can freeze them as well, which is really nice. But Frost Alien can one-shot them. Now the late game method is a little bit better. Now for this one, I would recommend having something like Solen to increase your attack damage by 80%. And Hoodle is extremely effective because when it's in your party, damage dealt to enemies that are not in combat is increased by 100%. This is super good because you can sometimes get a few attacks off. Now in the world tree, the best location is to come here to the abandoned laboratory. You can start the Boreal Summon and make your way over here. I've found them, but not at the same rate that we're going to be finding in this section here. So we're going to make a loop here. Now, once you start from here, this is when you're going to be on the lookout. But I find that I find a lot of them in the other section here. I also like to swap out for Frost Alien Noct, but Eidrolon is probably like the, oh wow, we got one right away. Let's go. So yeah. I would prefer to use like the mechanical bow for this so you can one-shot them. And there we go, 474. That's crazy. Wow, that will not happen every time that anytime you're doing this. Oh, what the hell? That's actually insane. That is the second one right there. Again, this is on 1.0 world settings, so I had to go and double check for a second, but yeah, I haven't touched these. 1.0, you can affect the pal appearance rate to see this a lot more frequently. That was insane though, holy crap. If you're having a struggle, just do yourself a favor and change this here. All right, let's try that again. I'm not gonna have that same luck there. That is absolutely insane. But yeah, I was just saying that I don't find them often on this pathway here. The better location to go for is a little bit further ahead. So we're just gonna run straight past here. Yeah, not having that same luck again. Always look around because they will spawn in a large sphere around your character. So sometimes you'll get unlucky and they'll be way over there. Don't miss out. Try to get up high enough so that you can see these. And it is really nice. It's getting really dark here. That does help because the darker that it is, the easier we have a time seeing them. I went the wrong way. I went back this way, but as I mentioned, you can go this way, as this pathway here up to that is actually pretty solid. But we're going to start there and come across and fly over to this section here. They do spawn in this spot here as well. I'm just going to use the wingsuit to make that a little bit easier here. But yeah, come from over there to this section. And what it's going to look like is we're going to go down over there. So we got a flying bird that's falling out of the sky. This is the spot we're looking for. This large section here is the best farming location to go for. So you're going to want to look into corners. That's typically where they're going to be hiding from. So running your way through here, this is the main loop that we're going to be looking for. So coming through here, you'll sometimes find them in like that corner there. We're going to run straight around over here. There's a large group of enemies. I take that group of enemies out because it can possibly affect these spawns. And that's just a regular chest there. It's purple. It's not the blue that we're looking for. You can go over there. I just don't find that is a very good spot. And then we're going to continually make our way in a loop. So you can loop back over here if you went far enough, or we can go this way. So you can go back that same path. We have went far enough to despawn the enemies enough so that we can spawn them back in. And it's just going through this loop here. We're going to run our way over to this section here, going up through the castle a little bit, and then once you get up to here, it is just turning straight back around. And there we go. So yeah, as mentioned, they do like to spawn near the edges here. So again, we're not able to build in this spot, but yeah, you typically want to use something like the mechanical bow that's going to be able to deliver a one shot like that. We have 388 coins there. It's not like the best, but it is really good. So yeah, another thing is the mythical wood is going to throw you off a little bit because it does kind of look like a Mimog. So just be mindful of that as you're exploring through this section. But also be prepared for some sections where you're not going to see any. I am still in shock at my luck when I went through that section there. So maybe that is the new spot, but for my testing, this is a lot better. I went back there a couple times now. You can go back to the tower and warp to another one, warp back, and I find that sometimes if you're having bad luck, it's nice to shake it up a little bit and do that. Oh, geez, we got another one right there. So yeah, again, they are going to be stuck kind of to the side here, typically where things are going to spawn at, and we got ourselves 377 from that. And a successful day farming. They will cap at 9999 there. So yeah, with that, you should be able to get yourself some dog coins. But again, it will take some time. Sometimes your luck is going to be good. Sometimes you'll get 2 of them on a run. Sometimes you'll get none of them all. So that is something to take into account. I've heard of people taking 15 minutes to be able to find one here. So it is a patience thing, but doing it when it's dark makes this a lot easier. And if you have any questions around this, hit me in the comments below. And I hope you guys all have a great day. Subscribe if this was useful.